In tonight's EastEnders, George reveals his true heritage to Gina and Anna, exposing Eddie's actions. Eddie, desperate to have George as a character witness, resorts to bribery. Meanwhile, Cindy spends Mother's Day with her family. In a parallel plot, Sharon's possible return is hinted at through her passport expiration date, stirring anticipation among fans. In other soap spoilers, Coronation Street sees Roy accused of murder, Emmerdale features emotional moments for the Kings, and Hollyoaks follows Romeo's escape plan. Neighbours teases a public exposure of Toa Dai and Melanie's affair. EastEnders spoilers tonight, Eddie bribes George to defend him in court. EastEnders spoilers tonight, George tells Gina and Anna the truth about his true heritage as well as what Eddie did to his biological dad. After this, Eddie then bribes George in a bid to get him to give a character witness in court. But, will George defend his adoptive father and give in to his demands in EastEnders spoilers? EastEnders spoilers, George has a big decision to make. This evening, Cindy prepares to spend Mother's Day with Gina, Anna and Peter all together for the first time. George has other things on his mind though as he discovers that no DNA matches have been found, unable to trace his birth family. With some encouragement from both Elaine and Cindy, George decides to tell Gina and Anna about his true heritage. The girls are stunned when they realize the truth about what their grandfather has done. Later on, Gloria phones George up and asks him to consider giving a defense statement in court. George then visits his adoptive parents and cuts all ties with them both, begging them to stay away from his family. However, Eddie gives George some thinking to do as he bribes him into being his character witness in court. Otherwise, he won't give him the information on his birth mother. EastEnders spoilers, Johnny gives Stacey some advice. On Mother's Day, Amy and Ricky ask Jack if they can see Denise. He promises to speak to Chelsea about it. As Denise fails to accept a visit from anyone, Johnny advises Stacey to visit Denise before anyone else. Otherwise, Denise might accidentally spill the secret of the six to Jack, Amy and Ricky. Can Stacey convince Denise to see her though? Suki upsets Eve. Vinny suggests that Suki apologizes to Eve for moving out of the Slater house. However, as Suki suggests that Eve moves into number 41, it's clear that Eve isn't happy. Jean becomes Jade's hero. With Jade being close to canceling her charity auction, Jean manages to save the event by giving Jade a helping hand. Will the event go well? Read more. Who is leaving EastEnders this year? EastEnders usually airs Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One. Eagle-eyed EastEnders fans spot super secret clue confirming Major Legend's return. EastEnders fans have been desperate to know when Sharon Watts is set to return following her sudden departure in January, and it may be sooner than we think, as some fans have worked out. Sharon secretly headed off to Australia to spend time with best friend Michelle Fowler following the murder of Keanu Taylor on Christmas Day 2023. The rest of the six were horrified by her sudden departure, as they realized that they would have to deal with the aftermath of the murder without her help. Poor Sharon had been having a rough time even before Keanu's death. She had dealt with the faked kidnapping of son Albie before discovering that he wasn't Keanu's son, as she had previously believed. With all of this plus a murder to deal with, it's no wonder she wanted some time away. However, fans are desperate for the icon to return, and one eagle-eyed viewer found a pretty important clue which has given us an idea of when she may be due back. Taking to Twitter/X, user KellyBrightLY posted a picture of Sharon's passport from a previous episode, and pointed out that it expires in October 2024. While that seems like a long time away, another fan pointed out that she would need 6 months left on it in order to travel, meaning that she would have to return to the UK by April. In a recent video, co-star Diane Parrish, who plays Denise Fox, confirmed that the six would be reunited soon, which suggests that we don't have too much longer to wait to see Sharon back on our screens. However, it is possible that Sharon could have renewed her passport since the episode the screenshot is from, given that it still shows her married name, Sharon Mitchell. Despite these things, we are hopeful that we won't have long to wait before Sharon is back on the square, and we're sure she will bring plenty of drama with her. 25 soap spoilers for next week as Denise and Stacey are caught in EastEnders, Angel's fate is confirmed in Emmerdale and much more. Showdowns are aplenty as fates are confirmed, lies are exposed and exits are set in motion, as the land of soap lines up another dramatic one for our favorites. EastEnders sees Jack Branning on a mission to get answers when his visit to see Denise Fox results in him getting a massive surprise. One which leaves Stacey Slater with some serious explaining to do. Neighbors, meanwhile, seize the moment we've all been waiting for, as Therese Willis finds out the truth about Toa Di Rebecca and Melanie Pearson's moments of passion. Expect chaos. Over in Emmerdale, emotions run high for the Kings as Angelica is sentenced while Tom's behavior raises questions once again. Coronation Street sees much-loved legend Roy Cropper arrested for murder. And speaking of murder suspects, Hollyoaks' Romeo Nightingale tries to evade captivity with some assistance after he ends up in hospital. I've got all the spoilers for you just in time for the weekend, so why not join me as I take you through what's to come next week? EastEnders. 1. George is upset when he can't find any trace of his birth family and, after some advice from Cindy and Elaine, he tells Gina and Anna the truth about Eddie, leaving them speechless. Gloria, meanwhile, gets in touch, with George ordering her and Eddie to stay away. Eddie, however, has ulterior motives in wanting George present, revealing that he's got information on his birth mother and he'll only hand it over if in exchange for a character witness in court, too. With Amy and Ricky keen to see Denise, Johnny piles on the pressure, ordering Stacey to get to her first. Denise, however, is refusing to see anyone. After some convincing, Stacey manages to see Denise, who reveals she's no longer hallucinating Keanu but intends to stay put. Jack soon interrupts, demanding to know why Stacey is there. 3. Suki apologizes to Eve following her decision to move out of the Slaters. After some advice from Vinny, she urges Eve to move in with her at number 41, but she doesn't exactly get the response she wanted. Penny is on hand to offer Eve some advice and, soon enough, Eve shares her concerns with Suki. 4. Yolanda addresses the prayer group to ask for donations to the charity auction, and she and Pastor Clayton give thrilled Jean tons of great stuff. Yolanda is elated but her joy turns to upset when she discovers from fellow churchgoer Agatha that people are whispering about her relationship with the pastor. 5. Cindy is excited to spend her first Mother's Day with Gina, Anna, and Peter together. 6. The arrival of a visitor at the Vic changes everything for the Knights. Coronation Street. 7. Bobby tells D.S. Swain about Lauren's relationship with Roy, explaining that the cafe owner gave the young girl a job and found her somewhere to live. Max, meanwhile, points the finger at Daniel, who is questioned about his relationship with Lauren. Daniel fears the worst as Swain revisits his past with Nikki Wheatley and Summer, but soon suspicion is on Roy again as he's arrested for the suspected murder of Lauren. 8. Gary and Maria receive a visit from the police, who inform them that Mason has been charged with threatening behavior with a knife and thus will likely receive a custodial sentence. 9. Leanne takes Simon along to a seminar from the Institute at Chariot Square Hotel. Rowan, the speaker from the Institute, charms Leanne and gives her the benefit of his advice, encouraging her to share her innermost thoughts and feelings. Leanne finds herself blushing. 10. Eliza finds an envelope in Stu's coat pocket containing thousands of pounds and wants to know who it's from. Stu's heart sinks, but will he come clean about paying off Dom? 11. Simon tells Nick and Leanne that he's prepared for whatever punishment the magistrate throws at him tomorrow, as he deserves it. Sam agrees to write a character reference for Simon. 12. Tracy persuades a reluctant Amy to meet her for lunch. Amy meets up with Tracy in the bistro, but she's unimpressed to discover that Tommy is there too. Emmerdale. 13. Chaz opens up to Patty about her operation and, swept upon in the familiarity of the situation, they share a kiss. Patty swiftly comes to his senses and realizes he made a mistake, relaying word of the kiss to Mandy, who is eerily quiet. Chaz, meanwhile, is taken into surgery and, afterwards, she is overwhelmed as the magnitude of her operation dawns on her. 14. Charity ignores Mac's babbling and leaves the house, leaving Mac concerned as he realizes he made a mistake in not giving her the space she requested. After searching high and low, Mac locates Charity on a roadside. Can they open up about their feelings? 15. Nicola and Jimmy are left utterly devastated when Angelica is sentenced to 8 months in the secure children's home. Nicola breaks down as she later receives a call from Angelica, who is distressed. 16. Carrie agrees to be civil with Chaz, despite what happened in the past concerning Al. 17. Belle is worried to find her laptop broken by a split milkshake as her chances of completing her proposal diminish. Is scheming Tom to blame? Hollyoaks. 18. Romeo ends up in hospital after being stabbed in prison, and soon enough, Perry and James plot his escape, helping him evade the guards outside his room. Romeo jumps into the driver's seat of a cab, with his passengers being none other than Prince and Dilly. 19. Sienna bans Dilly from Rafe's funeral after finding out that their deceased lover left them with nothing. Dilly, however, refuses to be told what to do, and thus, after deciding to go to the funeral, she seeks solace with Prince. 20. Realizing just how much Jack is struggling, Darren finally does the right thing and allows his dad to move back home. Frankie, however, isn't pleased and issues the family with an ultimatum. As things spiral, she spends the night at Lucas, with Ste fearing that the underage teens spent the night together. 21. Warren visits Kane in prison and demands answers regarding who killed Ella. When Kane plays coy, Warren resorts to threats, with James horrified to see the two speaking during a prison visit. Neighbors. 22. Racked with guilt over what has transpired between them, Toadai avoids Melanie at all costs. Melanie responds by submitting a last-minute entry for Lassiter's longest lion event, but Toadai gives Therese extra attention. Melanie can't take it, quitting the event and storming off, telling Holly that she only enters the contest because something happened between she and Toadai. Therese reels in shock as she overhears and texts Paul that she needs him as Mel and Toad's affair is publicly exposed. 23. Krista is nervous about the lion event, with Chelsea determined to sabotage proceedings. Krista, however, thinks on her feet and the event proves to be a resounding success, much to Chelsea's chagrin. 24. JJ is left spooked when Slade returns and he uses some of Andrew's self-defense moves. Felix comes to the rescue, earning JJ's admiration, but the former prisoner contradicts Andrew's teachings as he enjoys playing mentor to his secret son. Things, however, spiral out of control when Slade locks Hugo in his car boot. 25. Aaron avoids the lion and Nicolette by spending time with Isla. But after a series of reminders about David's involvement in the lion, he finally takes his daughter to the complex, resulting in thawing between he and Nicolette as they reminisce about their beloved David. Please subscribe our channel.